renforcement d'une amitié qui permettra d'approfondir notre connaissance, notre compréhension et notre appréciation les uns des autres afin de construire ensemble un avenir partagé. Alors, Monsieur l'ambassadeur, votre pays a été tiré vers le haut grâce à la dimension visionnaire de feu le Premier ministre Meles-Zenawi. Votre Premier ministre actuel s'inscrit dans cette continuité en mettant l'accent sur la modernité, la jeunesse et la responsabilisation. Il a, avec son équipe gouvernementale, à cœur de forger un destin ambitieux pour l'Éthiopie. Aujourd'hui, la croissance économique stable de votre pays est proche de 10%. La présence de nombreux investissements étrangers, la bonne gouvernance, la reconnaissance de l'Éthiopie par les pays de la région, votre présence dans les forces de maintien de la paix, votre aide aux réfugiés d'Érythrée, de Somalie et de Soudan du Nord. Tout ça sont des signes et des témoignages d'une stratégie volontariste, ambitieuse et engagée au service de l'épanouissement de votre peuple et de la stabilité de votre pays et au-delà de toute la sous-région. Nous savons bien tous et toutes que le travail n'est pas terminé, que le chemin est parsemé d'embûches, que les malentendus ne sont pas tous évacués, que toute entreprise humaine est par définition imparfaite, que vous devrez encore faire beaucoup de progrès dans toute une série de domaines, mais il s'agit ici de voir le progrès, le chemin parcouru et l'ambition portée. Alors, je pense que nous devons, à mon avis, pour qu'un groupe comme celui-là puisse véritablement être efficace, je crois que nous devons nous donner un programme et nous devons nous voir régulièrement. Parce que le problème de ces groupes, ça ne fonctionne que quand on se voit régulièrement. Mais je suis intimement convaincu que ça va réussir et nous allons donc, si on veut bien accepter la méthode, on va essayer de faire une série de propositions programmatiques, d'initiatives qu'on pourrait prendre et à soumettre à tous les parlementaires.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me at the outset express my deepest gratitude to you all for your presence at this event. As Honorable Louis Michel said, an event aimed at forming a friendship group in European Parliament with Ethiopia. We look for inspiration, best practices and sharing of experience from European Parliament, which in turn, I believe, would help in building democratic institutions and a culture of democracy in countries like Ethiopia, where democracy is at its early stage of construction. Ethiopia is a very diverse nation with its mosaic nations, nationalities, cultures and traditions, languages and religious beliefs, and the different shades of political opinion. No other form of governance could enable us to manage such diversity. It can only be managed by democratic means where there is justice, equity, and inclusivity. Ladies and gentlemen, like many ACP countries, Ethiopia's relationship with EU goes as far back as to 1975. We partner in peace, security, and stability in the Horn of Africa and beyond. Fight against terrorism and managing irregular migration are both areas where we collaborate with EU. Preparations are underway to organize EU Business Forum here in Brussels. As the outcome of the recent exchange between the two sides, Ethiopia and the EU would soon sign the strategic engagement agreement. That makes our partnership imperative and mutually beneficial.
I think it's a great pleasure for me to be here to witness the launch of this important friendship group between the European Parliament and Ethiopia. I think it's an important moment. It's an important moment that I think matches very well with the reinforcement in relations that we have globally seen between the European Union and Ethiopia during the last couple of years, and I would say during the last year in particular. It's only a couple of months ago that we celebrated in Ethiopia and Addis Ababa 40 years of development cooperation. And we achieved considerable results during these 40 years, very much thanks to the strong commitment of the Ethiopian government, Ethiopian authorities, to poverty reduction and improved livelihoods. And that goes back to the vision that Honorable Louis Michel also referred to, that late Prime Minister Meles-Zenawi had a vision for a country that kind of laid the foundations for what we see still today, what is projecting into the future, and has allowed for Ethiopia to realize growth rates that have been unmatched in many countries and have made a major impact on poverty reduction across the country. Today, when I look at the EU and the 20 member states who are actively involved in Ethiopia, we provide together approximately €1 billion as the annual development aid. And we are keeping up the work to enhance our effectiveness of this assistance in putting it into concrete actions. And one mechanism to do this is that we are reinforcing what we call joint programming between the EDF and EU member states on the ground. It's not only 40 years of development cooperation, it's also 40 years of trade and economic relations. The European Union is the first trading partner of Ethiopia, and it emphasizes a lot on building of skills, creating jobs in Ethiopia. We currently count roughly 300 European companies that are active in Ethiopia. They have formed the European Business Forum, that is an important interlocutor to Ethiopian authorities and represents European interests, but at the same time is a very important interface with Ethiopian business. Ethiopia is much more to the European Union than a development, trade and economic partner. It plays a crucial role in the region particularly, and beyond that in terms of peace and security. It has been very much involved in the mediation of a peace agreement in South Sudan. It has major troop contributions in Somalia and in other regions in Africa as a provider to UN missions and also to African missions. It is very active in the fight against terrorism, notably in the fight against Al-Shabaab in Somalia. Ethiopia has also taken a leading role in issues like climate change, poverty reduction and migration that go well beyond Africa, beyond the region, because it has taken a leadership role there for the continent. We have always welcomed very much the efforts by the government of Ethiopia to support its population, the pro-poor investments, its dedication also to build up, for example, an emergency aid system in order to be able to respond to challenges inside the country. The new growth and transformation plan continues in this direction, and it has a stronger and renewed focus on governance, and I think this is telling because it adds an important or highlights an important dimension that is seen, as the ambassador just explained as well and highlighted, is an important dimension for the development of Ethiopia.
It is my great pleasure to be here today to attend this ceremony. Our Parliament is also ready to establish EU Parliament Friendship Committee, and in the near future, maybe next month, we'll send the list of the members to our Excellency Ambassador, and he will inform you soon. I think we are very glad to host, and I promise that we are very glad to host the new established committee to visit our parliament in Ethiopia.
I think that this friendship group is very important to improve the dialogue between Ethiopia and Europe. As Ambassador said, Ethiopia is a very diverse country with a remarkable economic growth and in a democratic process. And since the beginning, we have this common ancestor, Lucy. And I would like to highlight the fact that the dialogue is extremely important. As Claudia said, we have a very long-standing partnership with Ethiopia and a very fruitful partnership based on dialogue, mutual respect also. I would like only to congratulate you for taking this initiative and wish great success with this new friendship.
It's very good that people are waking up to what Ethiopia is doing. Ethiopia as a country comes under an awful lot of criticism within the European institutions, and I think it's good to have this group where we can balance the concerns and talk about the very positive things that are developing across Ethiopia and what they're doing, as they've been highlighted by Ambassador here. I think if we can take a positive lead on this, I think hopefully we can start to influence people's views about the very responsible approach that Ethiopia is taking, not just across the Horn of Africa, but across Africa as a continent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Que nos relations sont passées à un autre stade. Donc, Djibouti apporte son entier soutien à ce groupe. Tel était notre propos. Merci.
Je félicite aujourd'hui, aussi comme les autres, de la mise en place de ce groupe d'amitié avec l'Éthiopie. Et puis, je ferai en sorte que voilà, j'apporterai ma pierre pour la construction de ce groupe et le renforcement de ce groupe. Je vous remercie.
And I therefore wish to congratulate this particular initiative between the Parliament of Ethiopia and the European Parliament. We take very serious notice of this development. I'm sure Honorable will be able to welcome many more initiatives from countries that are really valuing this kind of partnership. Already 2 weeks ago, our team from European Parliament visited Nairobi, and they had an audience with our speaker and visited a number of projects that are funded by this partnership between ACP and the EU. I therefore wish to take this opportunity to convey our congratulations on this very good initiative, and we really look forward to many more in the future. Thank you.
C'est qu'on sait qu'il y a un projet qui est en attente, que l'ambassade a déjà poussé, qui est le jumelage en fait, entre Bruxelles et Addis, qui pourrait être en fait une concrétisation si le Parlement européen met toute sa force aussi pour faire en sorte que ceci puisse avancer.
Au-delà de certaines considérations, je crois que il est important de consolider cette démocratie naissante, sur la base de laquelle l'Éthiopie s'est épanouie aujourd'hui, surtout sur le plan économique. Une fois de plus, je souhaite plein succès à ce groupe. Merci.
The objective of the friendship group basically is to create understanding between European Parliament and Ethiopia. European Parliament is an important institution of the EU, and we have been trying to work with the European Parliament over the years, and we came to the conclusion that we need a solid group that will exchange with us on a regular basis.
Wiedey-Nippold, the former Prime Minister, who wanted to be very ambitious for his country, and very often in the Parliament, some voices are very strongly criticizing the system there. Of course, there is a lot to make progress. There's a lot of things to do to make progress. But all in all, when you see the particular difficult situation where they are, and also the role they have for the stability of the region, it's important to help them and not just criticizing them. Having some understanding for the way in which we have to move. And there's a reason why a group of friends in the Parliament can help a lot, because we can speak frankly to them. We can speak in a very open-minded atmosphere, and we can listen to them, and they can listen to us. Of course, there is no subject, no issue, no topic which has to be taboo. We have just to listen and to see and to try to convince. I remember when I discussed with Wiedey-Nippold and now with the Prime Minister, well, I can speak in a very open way with these people, and they can listen to our arguments, and we have also to listen to their arguments. But all in all, when you see the progress that was made in that country these last years, I believe it is impressive, and we have to recognize that. So the European Union is a main partner also in development issues, and also in economic issues. And even I am dreaming about cultural relations with Ethiopia. You know that Ethiopia is a very rich country in the cultural field. So we have to improve all this.
and we will have meetings together. We'll invite them, they will invite us. We will try to work together, and we will try to pass ideas. And we have to speak about the men's rights. We have to speak about democracy. But there is really a very important progress that was made on all these issues. Sometimes people are speaking very well about things they don't know at all. So you have to, when you want to give an opinion or a judgment, the first thing to do is, of course, to listen to the people, to learn the situation, to see with your own eyes, and not just having a kind of sensitivity, a kind of feeling with no arguments. I believe that is, and also based on rumors and all these things. Of course, there are things which are not acceptable, but life is to correct and to make progress, and they have made a lot. Well, we will have, what is important, I said it at the end of my speech, we have now to have an agenda, to regularly to meet together with topics on the agenda, and with really an objective, which is to have a mutual understanding, to be effective in our relations, and also to meet together, to discuss, to dialogue, and to help them to make progress.